Yeah, some left.
Okay. Well, so, opening, so, again, our introduction is that. Our introduction is that everything should be open before Shabbos. Whether it's bags, whether it's tissues, whether it is boxes and cans, everything should be open before Shabbos. And that is what I was told to teach to the class. No, no shortcuts. But I am going to sort of get there is a special situation, not to rely on this, yes.
What about bottle?
Bottles will speak about that as well. So all of these would be there are issues that would include. You have that which is glued and ungluing things. So we said that that itself is also like sewing. So we go into the malach of sewing, where we have that something that is glued, and then we're trying to ungluing it. Then there is also when you open up a box, there's the bottom of page 86, something that's called Makava Patish, completing information of an item, making something that is going to be usable, making a box. Before it wasn't usable because it was sealed, now you made it into a box. So, and then there is also tearing. So let's look at bags. It's on page 87. According to some poskim, it's forbidden to unseal or unglue a paper or plastic bag. This would include, so we have here. Yes.
The people work on carrying is store and also.
It's a correct, the care is correct. Okay, so we have a sealed bag. So ungluing it is an issue. So what we have is, first of all, when we're going to open it, we're not going to open it on the top because it is glued together. So we can't do that. Then we're going to be forming a bag that's used for storage. Right now, it's a sealed bag, you can't store anything in it. Once we open it up in its normal fashion, then it becomes a storage bag. So, what do? We open it before Shabbos. Okay, now, what would be the leniencies? So, let's see what it says. When removal of the closed item from the Shabbos necessity is permitted only to tear the bag open in a destructive fashion, tearing it lengthwise, without tearing any words, symbols, or pictures. Okay, so now it matters how. So what we're also not going to do is we're not going to erase. Cutting into a word is erasing the word, no longer the same word. So we can't erase. So how do we open up this bag? Let's see. We're going to make an operation. Okay. Now, so I'm going to choose a place. Now, over here, all the words are here. Problem. Here we have the picture. We don't want to destroy the pictures. You have the heksher over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to now cut it in this area. There's no word here. Okay. Beautiful job. You will now become a surgeon, yes.
Okay.
So because over there is glue. You cannot unglue, that's called unsewing.
That's glue, well,
I think it's glue.
I
You know.
think.
Some of it is,
Not glue. No,
so see, some of it is heat, some of it is heat, through heat, some of it is glue. So I don't know. I'm not gonna take a chance.
I'm sure that everyone on top of alternative, like,
Yeah.
nobody called like,
Okay, so now,
we're learning.
so now what we're going to do is, we're not going to use this as a storage. We're going to do it, we put it into another bag. This I'm going to throw away. So I'm gonna have it as a storage. I'm not with it.
Put it in the bag, but it's.
No, put it on the, so I put the thing into a bag, you got it, yes. What?
I'm gonna zip like that so you can seal it properly.
Sure, yes, no problem. Ziploc bags are fine.
When you're making your storage.
I'm making.
That's how it's stored.
The Ziploc bags are fine, that's what it's made for. Ziploc bags are made for storage, you also have a lock to it. It's not glued or anything, it's just interlocked one with the other. Ziploc bags are fine.
That's what you're not supposed to make a storage.
No, we created storage. Over here, this was sealed. Now, when I open it up properly and I'm going to store it, I'm making it into a storage. But if something is, if I were to take a bag to begin with, and it makes a storage, then that's not the same thing. I'm taking something that was not stored. This was something, I'm creating a storage. This I'm not creating. This I'm not creating. This is open. This is a storage bag. I'm not making it a storage. This is a ready storage bag. The Ziplocs are a ready storage bag.
I know.
You could use the Ziplocs, you could, okay, we cannot. What could you do here?
You got fire.
What you could do is,
Halfway through.
I could not go all the way, because on one side you said if we go all the way, it's making a knot, and then that could not be done because we're making a knot that's called a professional knot, because once I really try it, pull it tight, it can be very difficult for me to open it. However, if I make a slip knot, then I could leave. It's not the same as a bow and a knot in a bow, because a slip knot is not considered tying at all. A bow, a knot and a bow is considered tying, unprofessional knot, but it is a knot. If I just make two bows without a knot underneath, that is permissible, I can leave that without ever opening it. This slip knot, I also do not have to open up in 24 hours, I can leave it permanently, because this is not considered a knot at all, it's not considered tying, which is permissible, I could leave it 24 hours, after which, when I'm going to tie my shoes, I'm going to make a knot and a bow on top, that has to be opened up, that's called an unprofessional knot, that has to be opened up within 24 hours, or your intention is to do so. It goes according to the intention. Okay. So, any questions on this? I'm not making this to a storage bag. Or it's through I put the contents into something else, threw this out, and now we've done this, yes.
You know how some of the back, you have sometimes have like that, it's like blocks and shit inside, what if you tear it open and then finish it?
If you tear it up before Shabbos,
After.
during Shabbos, so then how do you tear it? That's the question, is, that would be,
Make
So
it,
let me-
and then you
let
put
me-
it to storage.
so,
And consider storage as well.
what was, let me give it some thought. In other words, it's made to begin with. When it's sealed, then it's not become yet it's making now possible to become a storage bag, even though it has the potential of being a storage bag because it has the seal, but that would be an issue. Okay, now, so this would be the way, this would be, so again, this is something that we want for Shabbos. We're going to have our Shabbos Nash. And we find that we feel that this is something that is very important for our welfare for Shabbos to have the, not, no, there are those who are more lenient about this. Let's look at the second paragraph. If someone mentioned about this, you just go and you move the top. So it matters again, there are different kinds of bags, especially when it comes to the I've noticed when it comes to the hamantash, individually packed, very, very flimsy. Really, first of all, they open up on their own. Even without you doing anything, there's a brand that we got from hamantash, and so you just touch them and they open. That certainly was not sealed, that certainly was not considered that it is something that you were making it into a storage bag. So over here, let's look at the second paragraph, page 87. So the first one is what I taught. The second one is then speaking about, so what other people rely on. It's not recommended. If someone did so, you would not consider that they had sinned and transgressed the Shabbos. And we're going to now think about those who do rely on something that is very, very flimsy. You open it up very, I guess you can go like this and then open up. You should not open up that way. But there are those that if you just go like this, it just opens up without even having to make any effort. Those are the ones that we're speaking about over here. However, some poskim rule, poskim means halakhic authorities, that when a bag can be opened easily, one is permitted to open it in a normal manner. The reasoning is, since the package can be opened easily, the bonding that holds the two sides together is too weak to be considered a proper seal. And it cannot be subject to prohibition of carrying because it was not really one entity to begin with, because it is so easy to open up. Nevertheless, the conclusion of this, it is best to act next page stringently in this regard and open bags only in a destructive fashion. Okay, so this is so we presented both sides of the of this subject when it comes to bags. It is recommended to do it as I did, to open it up and then discard the bag and put the contents in another bag as storage. Then there are those who are more lenient and say that if it's something that's easily opened, it's not considered sealed to begin with. And therefore, opening it up in the normal fashion would be acceptable for Shabbos, and it's not recommended. Okay, so we're not going to say that those who did open it up regularly, it is considered that they unsold on Shabbos. Hearing now, cardboard boxes. Here it is glued. Over here, you could say that it is heat sealed. But when it comes to cardboard boxes, it's forbidden to unglue the top of the box when an item of Shabbos necessity must be removed from a sealed box. The box must be cut open in a directed fashion without carrying any word, symbols, or pictures. This again, there are those who are lenient about this. This is what they're speaking about. This is the one that they're speaking about. Could you, could you open it up regularly? Not recommended, but those who do.
You trying to survive.
And you do no letters, no letters. And they also would say that this is not really used for storage. Once they open it, it's no longer usable. For instance, it's not making a storage box, not to use the contents at one time. So, now, so that would apply to, okay. What do we do with the sheet? Make sure it's open before. Now,
What's that?
let's see what we think here. Okay, so there is another malacha that is shiltut, peering to a specific size. That's a malacha on its own. When we open up the bag, there's no specific size, I just opened it. Then there is that which is meant to be torn at a specific place, perforated. It's meant to be torn this way. It's meant to be this size. Doing this on Shabbos, goes to the malacha of cutting something to size. It's a malacha on its own category. Do not think about tearing now. It's making something to a specific size. Whether I'm not going to tear, or I'm going to cut it, whatever it may be. Doing that itself is the malacha on its own. So therefore, why would to take away the tab that's over here, that is cutting to size, and taking it to perforate it, and taking it and cutting it to specific size, that itself is a problem. So, then this should be open to full shot. What you cannot do is you cannot unglue over here, because this is glue. This is really glue. Okay. So, what happens if we didn't open up the tissues before Shabbos? We have to use them. So, what we're going to do is, we're going to make an operation. We're going to have to choose a place where there are no words. We're going to make the cut. And we're going to have to make it so that we will take out the tissue. We're going to take all the tissues out, put it into another storage, and discard this so we're not making it into a box. It was not usable when it was sealed. We're going to make it now, we're going to be in a destructive way. We're going to cut the box and take out the tissues and throw away the box.
What if you had that top on and you didn't open up the full top? If you open the top is a quarter you go out to the top.
So what we do just to take out whatever is inside,
No. Rather than cut the box,
you know.
if you forgot to take the top off,
Yes.
rather than pull the whole thing off, but you like cut it there and take off like 3/4 of it.
I don't know if it would work. If it works, fine. But I don't know what's the writing on it. I don't remember what's. Is there writing on it? Would it be?
No.
There's no writing.
No.
Yeah, I think it is. I think there is writing on it. Do we have a closed box?
There's the brown usually.
There's words in the middle,
There's words in the room.
but not around
If
it.
you cut around it, I mean,
Yeah,
that would be.
they'll do the same thing. Yes.
Okay.
No, but that would not be in you would still now use this as a storage. You do it in a destructive way.
Oh, so you have to,
Destroy it.
if you took it, you cut it.
Yeah, you cut it over here,
Out,
cut it down, and then cut it in such a way.
it's
that-
already stored, it's already meant to be stored.
No, I know, but it's meanwhile it's sealed. Right now it's sealed. We're opening it up now. It's going to be a storage. Okay,
Look at a water bottle.
we'll soon come to the bottles. Now, what happens if we don't have tissues? We do have. What do we do here? So, tearing on the proper line. That is tearing on the dotted line on the where it's perforated. We cannot do that. So, what do we do? What were you taught? Shabbos, huh? Remember before Shabbos, yes. Now we're stuck. We don't have a box. We don't have anything to tear it with. We just have this. What do we do? Okay, ribbon. No, but it has to also be done in an unusual way.
Oh. Yeah, thank you.
So, what the general what they recommend is something that sounds a little gross. So, let me try to say it in a nice way.
No.
So let's try to do it the nicest way. What we're trying to do is we're not going to rip it. We're going to have the water take it away. So it's going to be used while it's still on the roll as much as needed. And then that is going to be put into the toilet, you're going to flush, and it's going to take away whatever went into the water, it's going to go away, and that way you would not, no, it's not going to take everything out. No, it doesn't. It's only whatever gets wet, okay, whatever gets, I experimented. Whatever gets wet goes away, the rest of it is not, what? Yeah, no, whatever is wet becomes soap. The power of the water when you're washing, whatever is wet will tear away. Whatever is dry is going to stay. So not going to be the whole roll will not disappear. Okay, so that is that is what is normally when you read the text. That's what's normally said. That's recommended. What?
It's like, one of people are over is here, and this is the.
Well, you can take this off.
We do, I do it, and hold it out.
No, I'm saying we do.
Take the whole thing.
No, I'm just saying. I'm saying if it's not as already how it's over situated. If you know, if it's still attached to the wall, you can just use like a hundred. Then one would have to work out how to work it. Okay, but let's say, Dave, so now let's go the other way. So what they recommend is to tear it with your elbows. I tried that and I got the perforated line. So did that work? So I'd say, what the things.
But we are still breaking the drum.
Very unusual. Okay, so what I did is I used my knuckles, it's strong enough. So it enables also to control it, so it's not tearing the perforated line with my elbows, whatever is weak gives. Therefore, I got it on the perforated line, which I was not looking to do. But doing it with my knuckles, I'm able to control, and I would only have that, which I'm going to actually tear, but not on the perforated line.
So if you do it that way and a little bit tears from the peppered line and
But it's something that, again, we said that, again, the analogy, you're walking in the grass, you with your sandals, some grass gets caught on your sandal, you don't have to do tshuva for that. It is something that is permissible 100% because your intention is not to do so, and it's not something that is necessarily going to happen. Again, your intention is not to cut on the perforated line. So if it does come in the perforated line, it's not called situation, it's not something that's inevitable going to be, it's not the same as opening a refrigerator with a light, then this would be fine. So if it does come out with perforated line, it is okay because you do have the ability to tear it without your perforated line. Yes.
Can't you so there's the line, can't you just carefully tear and see the line? Yeah.
We want to do it in an unusual way. We want to tear it.
I never do it, you don't fit the hole, you carefully tear it.
That's tearing, tearing something with your hand in this way is called usual. When I want to tear something, I use my fingers and I tear it. I want to tear something in an unusual way to remember Shabbos. So if I'm doing it with my knuckles, so I do it with my knuckles, this is not a normal way of tearing.
This would also.
Again, something that's not normal, it's not the normal way, then that itself would be a double. That is the way to do it. So tearing with your hands is regular. So if I'm going to do it, find something that's unusual. Again, it's recommended you tear everything before Shabbos.
But what are all the drawings?
No, you can't tear letters because that's erasing.
No letter, the drawing.
Oh, the drawing itself.
Like flower. No, the box, the toilet.
I'm saying like this. Let me give it some thought. So, let's look at 89. The question was asked about bottle caps. Bottle caps that lift or screw off without breaking may be removed on Shabbos. Those who have a ring seal attached that break upon opening may not be opened on Shabbos unless they are first punctured without any words. Given to tear a label from a bottle on Shabbos, even destructively, since it does not enable the acquisition of a Shabbos necessity. Okay, now, as far as you have the bottles that have a seal to it. So the regular, in some circles, they'll make a point of opening up all bottles before Shabbos. The issue is because of that seal that it has. Some of them is a plastic seal, some of it is the metal seal. Then you have on the wine bottles, some of them have the metal seals. In Chabad, we are lenient about this. We open up bottles on Shabbos. Whether it is the plastic one or the metal one, so we do open it. It's not considered that we are. The issue is, are we making the top? Are we making it into a vessel? That would be the issue that's involved. So, if it's a vessel to begin with, we didn't make it into a vessel. In other words, if you don't have a cup and you want to use the bottle top to drink from, it's a vessel in some way. So in other circles, they're very careful about this. In Chabad, it's not the case.
So I don't understand the vessel to begin with, I'm making it in the vessel, so why would the tissue box for the back of the kids, it's the vessel to begin with? Why is it considered we're making it the vessel, it's already a vessel for the tissue, also the.
So the question is about the seal. What kind of seal is it? No, I'm saying, let's going back to the bottle. I'm getting going back to the bottle. So it seems that it's not considered a real seal. If you want to, you can. If you want to, technically, you wanted to open up the bottle with the plastic cover. You could take a knife and pry, make it loose, and lift the whole thing off.
No, that's not my question. My question is,
So really,
after the fact, the bottle is not considered a vessel. I mean, the bottle is not considered making a vessel because it was already a vessel
Yeah,
after the fact.
I was speaking now about the seal itself. Now, what was the problem? No, if there was no plastic seal around it, then there wouldn't be an issue to begin with. And it's made to open, that's what it is. Now the question is now the fact that you have that plastic thing around it. So technically, if you want to, you don't really have to break it. What you can do is just lift it up. Take a knife, pry it open.
But, sorry, I guess.
I'm saying, so it's not really a seal,
So,
since you can open it up very
I
easily.
understand.
Hmm?
So what makes something become a vessel is having a true seal? Because I'm thinking
Yeah.
box already is a
Mhm.
vessel.
Yes, okay, you have the true seal.
So having a true seal
Mhm.
means that if you break the seal, you change it, like making it. a vessel.
That's correct. So those who say it's not permissible, that's their reason behind it, because it is considered a proper seal, and you are making out about
You mean on the tissue box or on
on
the?
the bottle.
What about a soda can? Like a soda. Yeah.
This one's it's soda can.
Mhm.
So here we have, it's also controversial with the soda can. You have with the cans. The same thing would also be with our tuna cans that have
Mhm.
so that would be more of an issue, because at one point people used the cans for actually vessels. People were very the economic situation was very dire, and people tried to use everything that they could. So if they opened up the can, they would use the can for further purposes. Many people would use the can for their pencil holders. Anyone remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, so the can was something that was more used. So therefore, the same thing is with a can, that if you're going to, but there are those who do not allow you to open up a can. There are those who say that you have to make two holes in the can, the top and the bottom, if it's not, it has a liquid in it, in that case, you're destroying it to begin with, and now it's no longer going to be able to be used. Then there are those who are more lenient, they say, and since nowadays you do not use the can, so what you do is you open it up halfway, take out the contents, and throw away the can right away. So in that case, you're not.
I don't need to open it up.
Instead of opening up the whole, open up the entire top, and then it becomes the usual can, if you only are halfway, you can't use it.
What about soda?
Now, with the soda, there are those who recommend that you open it up partially before Shabbos,
Well,
and then everything is going to get by the day. So this is something you should ask your halakhic authority with a can. Again, here we have that we do not store the can. Could we rely on the fact that we're just going to, it's a throwaway, we're going to use it when we're going to finish off the.
It comes with three lines, that's very
So
good.
that open it up only halfway, not to take it off completely. So that would be the ones that would be the ones who are more lenient about it. They would say, open up halfway, drink from it, throw it away. But don't take it off the whole thing, that makes it into a usable can. So this is something, again, pretty controversial. And therefore it's recommended that you open up everything before Shabbos.
this is how.
Okay.
But
So I'd like you to, I recommend that you read this handout. We didn't cover everything there. We still have the that which is heat seal, like we have the yogurts. We have what's it? We have, where else do we have yogurts? We have cottage cheese. Some of them they have heat seal. So we'll touch on it. Our next lesson we'll just. I'm recommending that everyone read it, and then the information and we'll cover this.
the backup question, somebody was saying, you're not supposed to drink a cup of water. Or a bottle of water that's standing on the ground. Rather,
If you would go,
you're standing on
I'm
ground,
good.
you shouldn't think,
That
is
is,
that like a mock or is that like, or is that actually across the board?
well, what's across the board is you're not allowed to spill
Right,
the contents
on purpose.
on the ground. That's on the, that's. It is, it says one should not drink in a garden. Is that a recommendation or is that strict? Well, I'd have to look into it. I mean, that is, what you said is stated. but
As a level or is it like a?
That's, I'd have to look into how.
Yeah.
how,
Good one. Yeah.
okay.
You know, so people. I'm coming to some porch, and I come to this every time I can.
You got the instruction?
Yes, and the doctor then told me to serve. It's like a shell, but I have to spread it. I can put it like this. Something does not matter. And then I have to spread it. I can leave it just hanging. I have to spread it. Can I do this on Shabbos? Because I don't want to stop them. Like the doctor told me, put it 1,000 times a day, the most you can. So it cures faster. If I'm not gonna put it for 35 hours, I'm gonna wash my hands. The water stays there, so it's gonna be warm.
This is an infection?
Yeah, this is actually. I probably, if it doesn't get better, it's gonna take. Maybe you have to take control.